As mentioned in the introductory video, at the end of each reporting period, periodic reporting is automatically opened in the Funding and Tenders portal. The periodic report consists of a technical and financial part, including financial statements of all beneficiaries with brief explanations for selected cost categories. In the Funding and Tenders portal, the participant contact, or coordinator contact in case of coordinating partner, is responsible for initially filling out the financial statement in the active field of the periodic reporting section. The financial statement includes total amounts for the relevant cost categories in euros. The exchange rate used for conversions should be the average exchange rate calculated over the reporting period. For personnel costs, click the icon on the right and enter the number of person months used for the respective work packages. The lower field for in-kind contributions should only be filled if the beneficiary has used them. If subcontracting was used, the related costs must also be recorded. If the subcontracting was not foreseen in the grant agreement, an explanation and justification are required. It is strongly recommended to discuss any unforeseen subcontracting with the project officer in advance to obtain approval. For costs under the Purchases category, additional details must be provided if the total reported amount exceeds 15% of personnel costs. Using the icons on the right, items are progressively added under the categories of travel, equipment, and other goods, works, and services. The system automatically calculates the minimum amount of costs that must be explained within the Purchases category. Start by detailing the most expensive items and indicating which work packages each item relates to and whether it was planned. If it was not foreseen, an explanation must be provided. The system allows the submission of the financial statement only after the required cost explanations have been provided. If the required amount has already been justified, there is no need to further elaborate on other items in the Purchase category, as demonstrated in our example. Beneficiaries can also adjust the requested EU contribution if they wish or need to claim fewer costs. Once the data is saved and validated, the financial statement window should be closed and the statement locked using the Lock for Review icon. This action automatically triggers a notification to the project financial signatory, who is responsible for reviewing the statement. If any corrections are needed, the project financial signatory can return the statement for revision. In that case, the participant contact must make the necessary adjustments and lock it again. If the project financial signatory approves the statement, they finalize it by clicking Sign and Submit and confirming their password, sending it to the project coordinator. Upon opening the active field of the periodic report, the coordinator reviews all financial statements submitted by project partners. The coordinator can either return them for modifications or approve them. The project coordinator may also request additional explanations from individual partners regarding budget transfers, exceeded person months, or unforeseen subcontracting and in-kind contributions to complete the Part B of the technical report. Once all financial statements and other mandatory parts of the report are included, the coordinator submits the complete periodic report to the granting authority. The system will automatically generate the report with explanations of the use of resources and the periodic summary financial statements, including the request for payment. The granting authority can accept the report or request additional information. When the granting authority approves the periodic report, the information letter announcing the amount of payment is sent to the coordinator. The coordinator can either accept payment by clicking Close without the observations or Submit observations. In that case, the granting authority will send a confirmation letter stating its final position. If errors were identified in previous financial statements, They can be corrected using an adjustment, where any positive or negative differences from the originally reported amounts are recorded. If the project includes an affiliated entity, an institution with a legal link to the beneficiary, a separate financial statement must be submitted on its behalf. Afterwards, this statement should be printed, ink signed by the affiliated entity, and archived for potential audits. At the end of the project, in the periodic report for the last reporting period, project revenues must be reported in the financial statement. Additionally, if a certificate on the financial statements is required for the beneficiary or affiliated entity, the associated costs should be included in the final report. The granting authority and beneficiaries operate on the basis of mutual trust. As a result, beneficiaries are not required to submit supporting documents when reporting eligible costs. However, the granting authority may carry out audits for up to 2 years after the final payment to check whether the declared costs comply with both general and specific eligibility conditions. To facilitate such audits, as well as possible investigations by the European Court of Auditors, or OLAF, beneficiaries must retain relevant records for at least 5 years after the final payment.